Well, thank you everybody for joining in today. I'm sure we might have a few other people that join in as we get going, but we're gonna get right to it, and we're gonna hit it today. We're gonna have a nice solid main set where we're just gonna put some work in. But before we get there, as always, we're gonna start out with our arm circles, our arm swings, a little warm up just to kind of get loose and get moving. Let me get over here. Give me 1 second, actually. Try to turn my computer up a little bit. See if that helps at all. A little better, not much. All right, so just as always, we're following along with that swim / stretch band warm up that we got from Matt Dixon, shared with everybody a video a few weeks ago. It's pretty similar to what is going to be in with most of the stretch band sessions that are in the library anyway, but maybe slightly different. But all right, let's get started. Just kind of loosening up again, stretching it out, feeling good. Just swing the arms around just a little bit, just kind of get them moving. And we'll get more specific here in a second, but this is just get the blood flowing down into the arms, up into the shoulders, the chest, and the back. Good. And then we'll take our left arm today, do some forward arm circles. Doesn't have to be super fast, just kind of getting through the motion, starting to work on that tight kind of core, centered body here. Feel it stretch all the way up through here, through the lats, and switch to the other arm. Trying not to hit my ceiling. There we go. Again, as we come up over the top here, that's where you really feel it back through here, come up over the top. We'll go back to that other arm. We'll go backwards now, other direction. And this is where, especially same thing, as we come up through the top of that kind of motion through that stroke, kind of feel it right through here across the chest, the front of the shoulder, and just start to open that up a little bit. And we'll switch to the other arm. This again, we do about 10 each way, 10 each arm, each direction. Doesn't have to be exact. But get some movement through the upper body here into the shoulders. All right, let's go back the other direction forward, but we're gonna do both arms, 2 arms together. As you come back through here, feel that squeeze kind of right in the middle of your back as you come up and over. And as you get down to this position, you can still feel it through the chest. Squeeze the back, open the chest up. About 10. We'll switch it, other direction, back. Again, open it up through here as we come back. Try to keep the arms as close together as you come through the back as you can, but you don't have to overdo it. In this one, you should mostly feel across the front of the shoulders and in between your shoulder blades on the back. Swing through here. We'll do about 10 going this direction. All right, now we'll get up into that streamline that we do, and this is again really just about stretching out. And you can lean to one side for a second, back to the middle, lean to the other side. Again, feel that all the way through here, back up. Now, get right up on your tippy toes, right up towards the ceiling, like you're getting lifted off the floor. Really feel that kind of like you're getting elongated through the back, right up through the spine, all the way up to the top, squeezing your ears. All right, today we're gonna do the alternating arm circles. So 1 forward, 1 back. And actually we're just gonna go in that one direction. 1 forward, 1 back, just keep going. We're not gonna pause at the top. Maybe we've done this enough now to where we've got the coordination down. And then we'll come back up to the top, squeeze again, and just feel like you're getting lifted right up. And then we'll do the alternating ones the other direction, if you can remember which way you did. I don't remember, so hopefully I'm doing different arms this time. Swing through here. And we'll do about 10 of those. And we'll come right back up for one more streamline. And again, this one, stretch to the side a little, stretch to the other side. And now we're gonna come down for some arm swings. Kind of bend at the waist, flat back, just like if we were doing the stretch cords. And we're just gonna swing the arms like you see those swimmers do up on the starting blocks before a race. Just kind of get loose, and this is an opportunity to get that core, work around the spine, just get a little bit of that movement as we shake it through here. Good. All right, then we'll come back up and just swing it out, swing the arms a little bit. Good opportunity to get some light stretches in across here. Nothing too deep, nothing too heavy. The other arm. Good, we'll get ready to go. All right, so, sorry, I'm gonna adjust my computer here for 1 sec. All right, so as I said, our main set today, when we get there, we're just gonna be going through some series of single arm and double arm. We're gonna do more as we work through the set. The rest will come up, then we're gonna come back down the other way and add some intensity on the other side of this little pyramid we're gonna be doing today. But we're going to start out with, again, a little preset. This is still part of our warm-up. This is what now we're going to get on the cords, kind of get the shoulders moving a little bit, under a little bit of tension. In this preset, I always say it, and I'm going to keep saying it, you know, with these, we really want to be, what I like to say, slow and deliberate with these pulls. We're still setting up good form, getting ready, and getting those muscles primed for that main set. And we are going to do a little bit of kicking on our back in this as well today. So if you've got a mat available, or something, you can get down to do some kicks on our back. And with those kicks on your back, it's up to you. Ideally, we can do that while you're on your back in a streamline. If you need to move your arms under, put your hands under your butt, or get on your elbows next to you, that's fine. But the kicks are gonna be just nice, small, little flutter kicks, nice straight legs, not bending the knees, and just kind of moving for about 30 seconds or so. But we're gonna get started. We are just gonna do 15 seconds of double arm pulls, right into 20 seconds of alternating single arm pulls, and then we're gonna do 30 seconds of kicking, and then we'll take a little break. So again, this should be slow and deliberate. You don't need a lot of tension on this. This is about setting up form and still getting the shoulders warmed up and ready. But we're gonna start here in about 10 seconds, and we're gonna start with 15 seconds of double arm, and then I'll give the cue, and we're gonna go right into 20 seconds of alternating single arm. All right, here we go. 15 seconds of double arm and go. And this is just warm up. Just feeling good. Getting that form down. Slow and deliberate pulls. And switch to alternating single arm. And again, now we're just practicing that one at a time motion. Still slow and deliberate. Nice high elbow up front. And just pulling all the way through. And we don't need a high tempo on this. We're just getting the motions down. Okay, and you can drop the paddles, drop the cords, excuse me. Some of you have paddles on them, some of you don't. We're gonna get set up here to do some kicking on our back. We'll get started here in about 10 seconds. We're gonna do 30 seconds of kicking, ideally in a streamline. And we will get started with 30 seconds of kicking starting right now. Now for this, you don't need big kicks. These can be small, short little flutter kicks. The big cues here are point your toes, keep your knees, your legs straight. We don't want to see a very big bend in the knee. Really similar to kicking in a pool. So the kick comes from the hips, it doesn't come from the knees. So just nice straight legs, nice small kicks. 5 more seconds. Okay, and rest. Good. We'll take a short break here. That was round 1. We're gonna do 3 rounds. Now for round 2, we're gonna have a slight change. We're gonna do 15 seconds of double arm again. Still light tension, not a lot of tension, nice and easy. Then for the 20 seconds of single arm, we're gonna do 10 seconds right arm only, 10 seconds left arm only. So I'll give those cues when we start. I'll cue you up for 15 seconds of double arm, then 10 seconds right arm, 10 seconds left arm only. And we'll get started here in about 10 seconds. And again, remember, this is still warm up, so we don't need a high tempo. We don't need a lot of tension. This is all about the movement. All right, here we go. 15 seconds of double arm starts right now. All right. Just making sure we're pushing all the way through. 5 more seconds. Okay, and right arm only. Now right arm only. That left arm remains up front. Pull with just that right arm all the way through the back. Okay, now switch to left arm only. Left arm only. We're still warming up. Just getting each arm moving. Okay, we can drop the cords, and we're going to do 30 seconds of kicking now. Actually, I apologize. 45 seconds of kicking. My fault. Misread my thing. Yay, lucky you guys. All right, we'll start in 10 seconds. We've got 45 seconds of kicking now. Like I said, we're going to go in 5. If you need to adjust partway through this, that's okay. And begin. 45 seconds of kicking. So again, if you can do this in a streamline, that's going to kind of get the most use out of your core. You're really going to feel that tightness. If you need to adjust partway through, say you start for streamline and we get to now when you need to put your hands under your butt or on your side or get up on your elbows, that's fine. You can adjust as needed as we work through this. But those nice little tight kicks, not overworking anything here, just getting the legs moving. Got 15 more seconds. Okay, 5 more seconds. Okay, and rest. Nice job, everybody. Good, we are, take a little break here. We're 2 rounds through our preset, 2 rounds out of 3. Now for this third round of the preset, we're gonna go back to what we did in that first round. So it's just gonna be 15 seconds of double arm, right into 20 seconds of alternating single arm. So 15 seconds of double arm into 20 seconds of single arm, and then we'll get back to our kick. And we'll start in about 5 seconds here. Okay, 15 seconds of double arm starts now. Again, we're still warming up, slow and deliberate. Don't need a huge tempo. We want to get kind of our body primed, kind of get the position down. And switch to alternating single arm now, alternating single arm. And the big thing is making sure we're kind of working on what we call that vertical forearm up front, finishing all the way through the hip with a nice straight arm. Got 5 more seconds here. Okay, and you can drop the bands. We'll get ready for our kicking in 10 seconds. And this is the last of the kicking today, and we are going to be doing 1 minute of kicking this time. 1 minute. We will start in 5 seconds. Okay, and go. You want those, you want it to be so when you're doing these kicks with those toes pointed, your heels on the down or on the, at the highest they get is maybe only a few inches, maybe 6 inches off the ground, or maybe you can even work within a 1 foot box, think 1 foot off the floor. That's kind of the box you want to be kicking in. So nice and short and tight. Legs are straight, toes are pointed. You're engaging that core because that's where this kick is coming from your hips, from that lower core. Just working through this here. Got 20 more seconds. And we'll take a nice break before we get into our main set today. 10 more seconds. Make sure those legs are staying straight. You want to be bending the knees. And rest. All right. So we'll take a little break here. This is a good opportunity. Now that we've kind of worked the shoulders a little bit, we've done some work with the stretch cords. Kind of put that in, stretch it out a little, get ready for the main set, grab some water. And as I said, we've kind of got a pyramid of work today. It's going to be time-based, and it's going to start out. I'll kind of cue you guys up as we work through this, but basically alternating between double arm and single arm. As we kind of work up this pyramid today,
I want the tension to just kind of remain the same throughout, so you don't really have to adjust a whole lot. For the breaks, it's really just stopping and kind of holding your arms out where you need them. And as I said, as the time is, we're going to do more and more as we work up this pyramid. The rest will also increase with that. But the tension should be about the same. Think like maybe like an 80–85% type tension type of effort here. Same cues as always, making sure that it's not too slack at the front, so that when you are starting your pull, you've got some tension all the way from the get-go. But the key, making sure that we're able to pull all the way through to this position. So your arms should be parallel with your body if you're standing or if you're on the bench. And if you're standing, make sure you're not too upright. Also, let's make sure we're not bouncing around. So we're going to start out. The first little bit here is we're going to do 10 seconds of double arm, 10 seconds rest, 20 seconds of alternating single arm, 10 seconds rest, 15 seconds of double arm, 15 seconds rest, 30 seconds alternating single, and so forth and so on. And I'll give you guys cues as we go up and when we transition into each thing. So it's going to be kind of rapid fire at the beginning, and then as we get going, it's going to lengthen out a little bit. If you need to adjust as we add time to this, 80–85% for doing this for 10 seconds is probably going to feel, might be a bit different of a tension than if we're going for a minute straight. So if you need to kind of inch forward, put less tension on, then that is okay. All right, we'll get started in about 10 seconds here. We're going to do 10 seconds of double arm. This should be about an 80–85% type of effort. So some tension on those cords there as we get going. So we're going to go 10 seconds of double arm right into 10 seconds rest. And we will start right now. Just a short 10 seconds of double arm. Okay, and we're going to take 10 seconds rest. Resting right now. We're going into 20 seconds of alternating single arm. 20 seconds of alternating single arm starts right now. And we still want to kind of accelerate a bit through the stroke now. The tempo's up a little bit more than it was on our warm-up. Not crazy, but making sure we're still accelerating. And once we've kind of got that pull, the hand drops down, accelerate in past the hip. Okay, and rest. We've got 10 seconds rest. Now we're doing 15 double arm, 15 seconds of double arm. And go, 15 seconds of double arm. Nice job. 5 more seconds. And rest. Okay, we've got 15 seconds of rest this time. And then we are doing 30 seconds of single arm. We're going to go in 5 seconds. And go, alternating single arm. We've got 30 seconds of this now. Nice stable core, stable body. Make sure we're not bouncing around. Head is nice and stable. Not burying the chin, but not looking straight ahead. That's where we kind of tend to get those kinks in the necks doing the stretch cord. But fine, now is where we start to find a rhythm here. Think about swimming, finding a rhythm. 5 more seconds. And rest. 15 seconds rest here. Now we're going to do 20 seconds of double arm. 20 seconds of double arm. So now start to find the rhythm. You may need to adjust the tension a little as we get going here, as we're getting up. Okay, 20 seconds of double arm starts right now. Even when we're doing the double, we want to think about kind of accelerating through the back once we've got that form set up. 5 more seconds. And rest. All right, we got 20 seconds of rest now. So rest is increasing, rest is going up. We're going into 40 seconds of single arm now. 40 seconds of alternating single arm. We're going to go in 10 seconds. Okay, 40 seconds of alternating single arm starts right now. So this is 40 straight. Again, this is where we really, as we're up to 40 seconds now. Find that rhythm. Think about when you're swimming in a pool and get into that flow. 20 more seconds. Finish just past the hip. Make sure we're not bouncing. 10 more seconds. Okay, and rest. Another 20 seconds rest here. We're almost up to the top. We are almost there. So as you guessed, we have got 25 seconds of double arm. We're starting in 10 seconds. 25 seconds straight of double arm. In 5. And go. Double arm pulls. Accelerate through the back. Probably starting to feel this at this point. If you're doing these standing, making sure you're not losing that form by standing up too tall. Got 10 more seconds. And rest. Okay, we've got 25 seconds rest, and now we're going for 1 minute straight. 1 minute straight, alternating single arm, and then we'll take a bit of an extended break here. We're gonna go in 15 seconds. We've got 1 minute straight. Think about where you wanna be with the tension to make sure that you're finishing with good form all the way through the minute. We're going in 5 seconds. And go. One full minute here. As we get tired, this is where the head starts to drop. You start to stand up a little bit taller. You might be starting to feel it in your lower back or your hamstrings if you're standing. Think about being nice and solid. We're not bouncing or snaking side to side, just right from the top all the way through past the hip. You're halfway there. It's looking good. Got 15 more seconds. Pull all the way through. Nice straight arm at the back. 5 more seconds. And rest. All right, you guys drop the cords. Walk away from them for a minute. We're gonna take a little bit of a break here. So we can grab some water. We can stretch it out. I'm sure we're feeling it right in the back of the shoulder. Good one, just get those triceps stretched out a little bit here and shake it all out. That was really great. Good, so like I said, we're gonna take a couple minutes here to let you stretch, let you get some water. We kind of hammered right through that. So it was not easy, especially as we work through and we get to those upper ones. But as you guys are stretching out and grabbing some water, I'll let you know what we're gonna do on the back end here. As I mentioned, it's a bit of a pyramid. We're gonna be coming back down now. So we're starting with the longer rest and starting with the longer intervals. But what we're gonna do is, this time around, I want you to be less tension on the single arm. So we're thinking like a 75, more endurance type effort with the single arm pulls. We want more effort on the double arm pulls. So last time we tried to be about 80, 85% throughout. Now we want the single arm to be a little bit more endurance based, not quite as much tension, a little bit easier. Then take a step back for the double arm and think about power and more tension, more power coming through in the double arm, getting set up and then really pushing back through. Now it's easy to get set up. I even just did it, kind of showing you this example where you get set up and then you push. We don't want that bounce. You want to be nice and solid, but accelerate those hands through and thinking power on the double arm and thinking endurance on the alternating single arm. So we're like a 75% type effort on the single arm, endurance effort. Now we're talking maybe like a 90% effort on the double arm, thinking power on those. But we're gonna start out with the 1 minute straight of alternating single arm. And then we'll take our rest into the 25 seconds of power double arm. And that's gonna be obviously the hardest too. Ooh, Alexi, good one. Alexi just sent a message. I don't know if I want everybody, but yeah. So one thing that has been mentioned is every once in a while glancing up to try to imitate sighting. That is something that I have done from time to time. It is something that you can do. It also helps break up the time a little bit. So if you're in that nice neutral head position, like I've mentioned before, if you think like when you're doing this, like you're swimming in the pool with a snorkel on, Every once in a while, maybe every 10 strokes, you can kind of stretch your neck up a little. Again, it's like sighting in open water. So you're not up there and leaving it there. It's a glance. It's a glance up and then back down. Now, it is something that we can do just to kind of practice that motion. But if some of you remember, when we do sight in open water, we don't swim and look straight up and look straight down. It's one of those where we look up as we're taking a stroke or as we're taking a breath. So when we're sighting in the pool, it's going to be slightly different, or sighting in open water, because as we do, we come up for that and then we lean into the breath. So it's kind of like this type of rotational motion, whereas what we're doing with the stretch cords, it's more up and down, but it does kind of work those neck muscles a little bit. So it's something, if you want to throw it in there, you can, but not something that I necessarily prescribe all the time. All right, so off my little sighting tangent there. We're going to get started in about 10 seconds. We've got 60 seconds straight of single arm alternating. Remember, this is more of an endurance type effort, so we're thinking like 75% type of effort here. All right, 1 minute straight, and go. So even with the endurance effort, you know, the tempo doesn't need to be high, but we still want to think about setting up the catch at the front and then accelerating through the back. And I say that a lot, and I'm going to keep saying it. If we're doing these standing, remember, try to get your upper body a little more kind of parallel to the floor. And then hold it nice and tight, nice and square, halfway there. We don't want any of that side to side motion. We also don't want any of that bouncing up and down motion. At 20 more seconds, just nice and strong endurance effort. Ten more seconds. Okay, and rest. I'm gonna do 25 seconds of rest. Now we've got, and then we have our 25 seconds of double arm. 25 seconds of double arm. Remember, this is more of a power stroke now. So definitely set up that catch and then accelerate through, power through. So we were thinking endurance before, now we're thinking power on the double arm. And we are gonna go in 5 seconds. And we've got 25 seconds straight. And begin. So this should be a little more tension than we had on the single arm. The idea here is power. Got 10 more seconds. Okay, and rest. Excellent. We're gonna do 20 seconds of rest. Now we have 40 seconds of alternating single arm. I'm gonna go in 10 seconds. We have 40 seconds now, so you should probably less tension on the cords for this. Remember, this is more of an endurance effort. Okay, alternating single arm starts right now. 40 seconds. Remember, this is our endurance effort. We're finding rhythm, trying to be smooth, but making sure we're finishing strong through the back still. And again, this is find that rhythm, feeling good. Excellent. Got 15 more seconds. Hold the form. 5 more seconds. And rest. All right, another 20-second rest, and now we're down to 20 seconds of double arm this time. 20 seconds of double arm, starting in 10 seconds. This is our power now. This is where there's tension on there, and we're kind of hurting a little bit, and we're feeling it. We've got 5 more seconds. 20 seconds of double arm, and go. Now, the important thing is, even though we have more tension and we're pulling hard, we want to make sure we are finishing all the way through the back. Got 5 more seconds. And rest. We've got 20 seconds of rest. Excellent. We're going to go in 10 seconds, and now we're down to 30 seconds of alternating single arm. 30 seconds of alternating single arm this time. We're going to go in 5. and go. This is our endurance effort, so less tension than we have on the double. Tempo comes down a little bit. We're still finishing all the way through. 30 seconds, 20 seconds more. Jess, you're pulling out a little bit wide. Try to get your arms more underneath your shoulder and underneath your body, especially at the top. Yeah, good. Better. 10 more seconds. Okay, and rest. Got 15 seconds rest, and then we've got 15 seconds of double arm. So still trying to keep the power up. If you need to adjust the tension as we kind of fatigue a little bit, that's okay. We're going in 5 seconds. And go. 15 seconds, double arm. Power strokes here. Power, power. Five more seconds. Okay, and short rest. 10 seconds rest here. We're taking our break. And we got 20 seconds of alternating single, endurance effort, and go. 20 seconds alternating single arm. Got 10 more seconds. Just be nice and light. Endurance effort still. 5 more seconds. Okay, and rest. And we've got our last bit here. In 5 seconds, 10 seconds of double arm. Power, power here on these last 10 seconds. And go, double arm. 5 more seconds. Power strokes through here. And rest. All right, drop the cords. Walk away, grab some water. And stretch it out a little bit. All right, everybody. So today we kind of hit it fast and we hit it hard. We went right to it. We're leaving some people with enough time if you haven't gotten in your long run already, if you've got that on the docket today. Steve, I know you already did yours. I saw that, and so you're feeling good. Good. So stretch it out here, grab some water. As always, we'll take this time, 5 minutes or so. If anyone's got any questions about, hey, sighting, we were just talking about sighting a little bit in this. I'm happy to answer any questions on that. On the stretch cords, on anything in general. So if anybody's got any questions, now is a good time to fire them off.
John, I have a question.
Alexi, did you say you have one?
Yes, I do.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? No?
Sorry,
you can't?
Alexi, can't hear you.
Okay, so I'll text it.
Yeah. Well, while Alexi's figuring that out, she's going to text me a question. That's okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
I have a question. Can you hear me, John? John, I wonder if your computer volume is on.
Yeah, it is. It was not. Sorry.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Hey, when I watch you do, get your hand like straight in the back stroke. I have a hard time doing that without the paddle wanting to slide out on my, and like come out of my hand. Is that really important to figure out how to do that, to get that hand straight?
It does get tricky because if you have the paddle, I don't know if I have mine here. Sorry, let me go grab it. Turn you guys here. So I think what Steve is saying is, as you come back here and you get to this position, it feels like the paddle's slipping off. Is that what you're saying, Steve?
Yeah, if I straighten my hand out like that, then I can't control the paddle coming back.
It gets the big thing is trying to get here and then trying to follow the same path back. So the first thing I do is I pull back here. I instantly drop my fingertips back down and come up.
Okay.
Down. So it's just that. So it's almost like you're leading with your fingertips through the back, and then you're leading with your fingertips back up to the front. And I just said you don't want to do over too much. Flat here, push there, and then I drop my fingertips down on that recovery, and it helps just kind of manage the paddle a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Sorry, Alexia. So that was my ineptness at technology, I had muted the computer to block out my kids' stuff earlier, and I didn't turn it back on. So you were saying you have
So
a hard.
I feel like when I get tired, my right hand wrist goes like this, you know, like to push to make the beat. And I don't know what to do. Like my left hand is strong enough that it stays, you know, kind of like this.
Yeah.
But my right one goes like this to basically push. So
Yeah.
what do you have any trick for that?
It's forearm strength is really what it is, because what's happening is you get through there, your wrist, you're having to break your wrist to push
Yes.
back with your forearm. Not much we could do about that other than just try to, as you work on it, you're going to get stronger. So do the best you can to not break the wrist too much on the back. Though as we do the stretch cord sessions, I mean, that is kind of as we get to that last little flick through the back, that's kind of the one part where we kind of break the wrist just a little bit. So if that is happening, it's not horrible. I mean, obviously we prefer it to be nice and straight all the way back, but let's say if you were doing that in the pool, I mean, when we swim, we're not pulling with just our hands, right? We're pulling from fingertip to elbow. This is our paddle when we swim, not the hand. So you're still putting that pressure on, and you're still kind of getting the work and that motion that we need, that we're trying to emulate here with the paddles. So not the worst thing, and I think it's one of those things that'll come with time as we get stronger with it. We'll see.
Okay. Nice gun show.
Can I offer something to Alexi?
Yeah.
Do you mind if I add to Alexi's dilemma? So this is a handstand strengthening exercise, but you would take a wooden stick and tie a weight to it so that it's like drill through the wooden stick so that the weight is hanging on a string. You want to roll the wooden stick up, and that helps to strengthen your forearm, and then you roll it back down, and then you'll get really good at handstands at the same time. So.
No, that's a good one, and that's something that's been used for. They call it golfer's elbow, which I don't agree with, because a lot of people get it for swimming, but swimmer's elbow, where you get this really sharp pain right in here. And for me, doing a lot of swim run stuff, I swim with paddles a lot, and I started getting that in there. And I saw that was one of the exercises recommended to help strengthen those tendons in through there. And I think I saw something else where you can hold soup cans and do this type of thing. But I like the one with the weight. I think you get more out of it for sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, my bands can either go around my paddles, my pulling paddles, or there's also I have the option of using like a Velcro. It's like a Velcro loop that came with my bands. I can either put my hands through the paddles, or I can put my hands into the Velcro loops, or I've even put the Velcro loops around my forearms to be pulling more like this, like pulling from this part.
Yeah, I see Erica showing that off there. That's interesting. I hadn't seen that before. That's actually, that's interesting. I kind of like that with the
Halo system. So if you buy from Lane Gainer is the company, and it's called Halo, and they call it Halo Heat, high elbow attached tubing, and it's like $25. It's a great deal. So you can get both of them going at the same time. So you can have the paddle and the elbow, and you're pulling them both back.
Oh, so
that's why it has the Velcro.
Okay, so I was gonna say, yeah, if you're doing both at the same time, I see more benefit in that, because you're able to keep this in line. My only worry is if you have just the forearm, you're gonna end up pulling with your hand, kind of this position, if you can kind of see what I mean. So as long as you can get into that vertical forearm and keep that straight, I think that would work well. And it's one of those where I would even mix it up a little bit. I think the forearm one sounds like it would be great for warm up, or some if there's like a preset mixed in there just to help with form. And then the paddle, you're able to really apply a little bit more pressure, I think, and a little more power. So it's one of those where I think if you could you think about that one as being a form builder, and the paddles being a strength and a power builder.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question, John, about posture when we're doing this. Like just being sensitive about like 90-degree hip flexion. What if we had the bands attached a little bit higher, and then we were still doing a straight line, but it's like not quite, it's not a straight line from waist height, it's a straight line from
Yeah.
the diagonal.
So one of the things I mentioned, I don't know if you were on the call, was we talked a little bit about placement of paddles. My preference is not to have them be directly in front of you flat, but already to be on a bit of an incline. So ideally, if you're standing, you're hooking the paddles up at about chest height, and then you can get down and you're gonna have that slight down. So yeah, like you were saying, if you're able to get those up a little higher, you don't have to bend over quite as much, but the idea is we still wanna be able to work on this part up here, where we think about if we're in water and we're in this position, this is where we start our pull. But if we're up high like this, what's gonna happen is you're gonna start it here, even if it's up higher. And you have to put it pretty high, but the idea is we just wanna get this position like if we're swimming in a pool here and not starting our pull here. So if you could get that up a little higher, you still might be able to do that. But the big thing is making sure, as you come up, what tends to happen is if we're really in this position, we go here, but as we come up, our hands tend to stay at the same spot and our body comes up. But even if you can't, ideally you can work on getting that up a little bit higher.
Okay, yeah, I did miss that the first time, but that helps, that as long as it's low enough that we're still getting on top of it.
Exactly, yeah. Yep.
John, I have a question, please. We've had a couple athletes write in that are able to get out and do some open water swimming right now. Do you have suggestions on a smart build back to swimming in lakes and open water?
So yeah, I think that's one of the things that we're definitely going to have to be addressed too within all of Purple Patch. As you know, now it's warming up enough in some places and maybe beaches are open in some places where people can go swim. Like I know I sent my brother a text this morning and said, the ocean's 45 degrees, we're almost there. Like it's crazy, but that's this idea as we're getting back into it. And I think that's the big thing is the same way we jumped into the stretch cords. We can't, we didn't want to get in and be like, oh my God, I can't go to the pool. I have to do all the stretch cords all the time. We don't want to have that same attitude with, oh, I can swim now. I'm going to go do all the swimming. And then all of a sudden everyone's shoulders are beat up. But I think that's one of the things we're going to be introducing like we have with the run coming back from injury. It's almost like with the swim, we're not coming back from injury, but how can we smartly build back into it? And the big thing is that's not with all of everything across triathlon, not doing too much too soon. And the big thing is I hopefully by doing the stretch cords, we're keeping that strength so we can kind of get back into it a little bit quicker. Ideally, I would start out with just getting it and getting the feel back and doing some longer, easier swimming as we kind of get back into it. And that's probably going to be the case as the water is going to be really cold most places anyway. People aren't going to want to stay in all that long to begin with. So even if it is just 10 minutes, 20 minutes of just some easy swimming with some breaks in between, that's a good way at least just to kind of get that motion back and that feeling back and kind of get everything used to it again before we jump into it. But no, I think Mel, you hit it on the head. We're going to need to put together a plan for, and I think it's in the works too, of how to safely reintegrate actual swimming after a little bit of time off. Thank you. All right. Okay. Well, there we go. Hopefully everybody's feeling good.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back to it on Wednesday if anybody can join.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you, John.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.